The conversation around Social Security has never been more urgent than it is today, with millions of seniors across America relying on this vital program for survival. The stakes couldn't be higher. Yesterday, Representative John Larson took to the House floor and delivered a speech that once again highlighted both the vulnerabilities and the importance of Social Security. His remarks called out concerns about data security, government oversight, and the critical need for accountability when it comes to protecting the personal information of every American who depends on these benefits. But beyond the debates in Congress, one issue continues to stand out for seniors who are struggling month after month: the real possibility of a $1,400 one-time payment being pushed exclusively for Social Security recipients. Before we break down all the details, I want to quickly introduce the channel you've tuned into. This is Truth Lens, where we shine a light on the issues that matter most to everyday Americans, especially our seniors. Here we focus on clear explanations of government programs, benefits, and the latest updates that impact the lives of people who are retired, disabled, or living on fixed incomes. Every story we share aims to bring truth into focus so you can see exactly how decisions in Washington affect your life and the lives of millions of hardworking Americans who now depend on Social Security to make ends meet. Now, let's go back to what Representative Larson had to say. On the House floor, Larson expressed deep concerns about reports from a whistleblower that personal information from Social Security beneficiaries had been accessed and stored outside of its secure system. He explained that this potentially exposed the data of over 300 million Americans, including the 161,000 recipients living in just one congressional district. Larson was emphatic. No one should have unauthorized access to this data, and no agency without congressional oversight should be able to manipulate or store it. His message was clear. Democrats and Republicans alike must come together, not only to protect Social Security funds and benefits, but also to protect the dignity, privacy, and security of those who rely on it. While those concerns about data are very real, many seniors listening to that speech likely had another thought in mind. Yes, security is critical, but what about the financial strain retirees are facing right now? That's where the discussion about a possible $1,400 one-time payment becomes so important. Unlike earlier stimulus checks that went out to most Americans during the pandemic, this proposal is aimed specifically at Social Security recipients, those who are retired, disabled, or receiving survivor benefits. It's not for the general public. It's for the people who built this country, who worked and paid into the system for decades, and who now find themselves squeezed tighter than ever by rising costs. For many seniors, that $1,400 could mean keeping the lights on, paying for vital medications, or even putting food on the table when grocery bills have nearly doubled over the last decade. We cannot ignore the reality. Seniors in America are some of the most vulnerable to inflation. According to recent reports from the Senior Citizens League, the purchasing power of Social Security benefits has dropped by about 20% since 2010. Think about that for a moment. A dollar in benefits today buys far less than it did just 15 years ago. And while the cost of living adjustment, or COLA, is meant to keep benefits in line with inflation, the truth is that these adjustments are often too small and come far too late. Take the 2026 COLA, for example. Early estimates suggest it could be around just 2.7%. To put that into perspective, if your Social Security benefit is $1,500 a month, a 2.7% increase would give you about $40 more. But by the time that $40 hits your account, rising Medicare premiums or higher grocery bills may have already eaten it up. For seniors already living on less than $1,000 a month, about 7.3 million older Americans, those numbers are devastating. These are people below the poverty line, and they are the very people who stand to benefit most from a proposal like the $1,400 payment. That's why senior advocacy groups have been pushing Congress hard. They argue that while $1,400 doesn't undo all the damage done by years of underwhelming COLA increases, it would at least provide immediate relief. In fact, one group estimated that Congress would need to approve about $4,400 in additional annual benefits per person just to restore the purchasing power that has been lost since 2010. That's how much ground seniors have lost in this fight against inflation. And yet, here we are debating whether even a one-time $1,400 check is possible. At the center of this fight are lawmakers like Bernie Sanders and John Larson, who have both introduced bills designed to strengthen Social Security in the long term. Sanders' Social Security Expansion Act and Larson's Social Security 2010 Act both aim to provide higher benefits and to replace the outdated CPIW with the CPIE, a consumer price index that more accurately reflects the expenses seniors face, particularly healthcare costs. Anyone on Social Security knows that medical bills and prescription costs rise far faster than the general inflation rate, and using a measure that reflects that reality could mean larger COLA adjustments in the future. But for now, the focus remains on the here and now. Seniors across the country are struggling each month to decide which bills can wait, which prescriptions they can skip, and whether they can afford fresh groceries. Many older Americans who spent their lives working hard never expected retirement to look like this. They never imagined they'd be counting every penny, watching their benefits lose value, and relying on food pantries or family just to get by. It's a reality that weighs heavily on millions, and the voices calling for action are growing louder every day. And that brings us back to the $1,400 payment. While no official legislation has been passed to guarantee this relief, the fact that it is being pushed by major advocacy groups and discussed in headlines is important. It shows that lawmakers cannot ignore the struggles of seniors forever. The truth is, time is not on the side of older Americans. Every month without additional support is another month where seniors fall deeper behind. For those on fixed incomes, there's no wiggle room left. They cannot just pick up a side job, work overtime, or renegotiate their salary. Social Security is their lifeline, and it must be protected, strengthened, and in times like this, boosted. As we look ahead, all eyes are on Congress. Will leaders in Washington take real action to deliver relief? Or will the $1,400 payment remain just another proposal gathering dust? Seniors across America are waiting, watching, and hoping. They are the backbone of this country, the people who raised families, built communities, and contributed to the economy for decades. They deserve more than empty promises. They deserve action. Here at Truth Lens, we will continue following these updates closely, breaking down every development and making sure you know exactly where things stand. The push for a $1,400 payment may not yet be law, but the fight is far from over. And as long as seniors continue to struggle, the pressure on Congress will only grow, whether it's protecting data, ensuring fair COLA adjustments, or providing direct relief. The responsibility lies with our leaders. Seniors deserve dignity, security, and the peace of mind